If your product can't charge 10 times more than the competition, that's not a market problem, that's an engineering problem. Most inventors design for performance specs only. They chase faster motors, bigger batteries, more features. But companies like Dyson don't engineer for specs only. They engineer for perceived value, like weight, sound, resistance, and feel. Invisible levers that justify a higher price tag before the product even turns on. My team has used these exact levers to launch over 2,000 products. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the framework that we use and the one engineering choice that changes everything. Point 1. The heavy illusion, why weight equals worth. Your brain has a shortcut. Heavier equals more material. More material equals more expensive. More expensive equals more valuable. Pick up a Dyson. Now pick up a $50 knockoff. Same function, different reaction. The Dyson feels like $500. The knockoff feels disposable. Here's the secret. Dyson adds weighted base plates, denser plastics, strategic metal inserts, not for performance, for feel. Apple does the same thing with MacBooks. The aluminum chassis is heavier than it needs to be, but the second you lift it, your brain says premium. Now let's talk margin math. Adding a weight plate might cost 40 cents. That 40 cents creates $50 to $80 in perceived value. That's 125x return on a single engineering decision. Most inventors obsess over reducing weight. Lighter equals better, right? Wrong. If you want premium pricing, premium brands don't minimize weight, they optimize it. If your product feels light and hollow in the hand, you will never command premium pricing, no matter how good the performance is. Point 2. Acoustic engineering, the $500 click. Close your eyes for a second. Press a button on a $50 product. Now press a button on a $500 product. You can hear the price difference. That's not an accident. Dyson engineers silence into every moving part. No rattle, no high-pitched vibration, just clean, controlled, mechanical clicks. They use dampening ribs inside plastic housings, thicker walls, 3 millimeters instead of 1.5, rubber gaskets at every joint. What does that cost? About 15 cents per part. What does it signal? Precision, tight tolerances, expensive manufacturing. Your brain interprets silence as quality. Rattle equals cheap. Silence equals premium. If your prototype rattles when you shake it, the customer's brain labels it cheap before they ever test the function. Silence is the most expensive sound you can engineer, and it costs almost nothing if you design it from day one. YouTube can't tell you if your idea will work. I can. Let me personally review your product concept for free. I'll tell you what's viable, what's not, and what you should do first. Links in the description. Book the call before you spend another dollar. Point 3. The invisible tolerance, zero cap aesthetics. Look at a Dyson seam, then look at a $50 knockoff. On the Dyson, the gaps are nearly invisible. On the knockoff, you can see light bleeding through. Your brain processes this in milliseconds. Wide gaps mean sloppy. Sloppy means cheap. Tight gaps mean precision. Precision means expensive. Here's the key. This isn't about tighter manufacturing tolerances. Those are expensive. This is about smart geometry. Crush ribs that compress during assembly. Overlapping parting lines that hide seams. Surface textures that visually break up the edges. Cost in CAD? $0. Manufacturing costs? 5 to 10 cents. Perceived value increase? $50 to $100. That's effectively infinite ROI. This is the lever from the hook. You can have the best motor, the best battery, the best performance. If your seams look sloppy, your product gets priced like a commodity. Tesla learned this the hard way. Same car, same performance. But panel gaps made it feel like 40,000, not 100. If you're in CAD right now and you're not thinking about crush ribs and zero gap aesthetics, you're designing for commodity pricing. There are 3 levers that separate a $50 product from a $500 product. Weight, the heavy illusion. Sound, acoustic precision. Finish, zero gap aesthetics. These aren't expensive to engineer. They're expensive to ignore. The real difference between cheap and premium isn't performance. It's the 3-second sensory experience before the product even turns on. At Rabbit, we engineer these levers during phase 1, before prototyping, tooling, or manufacturing spend. That's the cheapest moment to add perceived value. The most expensive, after launch. Your product's price is decided by engineering decisions made in the first 30 days. If you want to charge 10 times more, you must engineer 10 times more perceived value. Now you know exactly how. If you want to engineer premium pricing into your product before you build it, click the link below to book a free premium pricing audit. We'll analyze your specific idea, identify which levers matter most for your market, and show you exactly what it'll cost to design them from day one. This is the same process we've used over 2,000 times. If you want to see the full journey from idea to launch, watch How to Create, Design, and Manufacture a Product from Scratch. It breaks down our entire four-phase system. Click it now.